welcome back everyone. In this webinar session, we'll bring you to the world of fashion, focusing on the future of Thai fashion. And today we have with us well-known and fabulous guest speaker. Please welcome คุณหมูอัศวประภา or พี่หมูอัศวาสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Would you mind introducing a little bit about yourself and share with us your personal experience?
Sure. My name is Ponpat Aswaprapha. I'm a founder of Asawa Group, which is a fashion brand. I serve also as a creative director for brand under Asawa, which is Asawa, ASV, Moo, White Asawa, Uniform by Asawa, and I also have two restaurants brands. Apart from that, I also work as president of the Bangkok Fashion Society, which is a non-profit organization that work with all the designers to kind of support them and make sure that we're on the right track and we are putting more spotlight into the Thai fashion industry. And apart from that, I work as a guest lecturer at the university for the fashion design as well.
Wow, you really have rich experience in fashion industry. And from what I've heard, under the brand Asawa, you also have another 5 brands and you also have restaurants and you
Yes.
also teach. Can you share with us what is your definition of fashion?
I think fashion, for me at least, it's not about what you wear. It's about how you perceive the world, how you live your life and everything. I think everything around us is fashion. You cannot deny in this day that whether you buy a bottle of shampoo or whether you walk into the coffee shop or you walk into the restaurant, is part of who you are and how you live. So I think garment and what we wear is a part of the fashion. But as a matter of fact, fashion is around us. It's everywhere, but it depends on how you define it. So I think it's very important to understand that when we talk about fashion now, we don't talk about just accessories or garment or blouse or pants. We're talking about buildings of fashion, telephones of fashion, everything around us. Yes, even cars is fashion.
It's true, it's like fashion is integrated into everything around us, whether we
Exactly.
know it or not.
Exactly.
Yes. What is the characteristic or uniqueness of Thai fashion when we compare to other countries? What makes Thailand stands out? What is the Thai groove in terms
I
of
think
fashion?
what make us stand out, I think we have to understand the character of Thai people. I think that in general, Thai people are always in a good mood. We have a very positive vibe, and we have good sense of humor. And something that I like to point out, one of the character that Thai people has always been good at is adaptability. We adapt very well. We know whether when to act or how to design or what to change or to fix. This is our character as a nation. So I think the fashion also get that character as well. So you'll see the Thai fashion that has definitely the authentic, what we come from and the heritage of Thailand, but yet it's adapt to the trend, it's adapt to the world. So it's sort of like a go along with what is around the world now. When you look at other country, you will see the very definite style. When you see the Japanese fashion, this is a Japanese silhouette. It's worked well with the Japanese, but also it make names in other countries. Or when you look at the Korean fashion, you can see the Korean silhouette. But when you see Thai fashion, the Thai fashion always has that sense of international. I think it's sort of like very adaptable to the international market, but yet what makes it different is it's always very relaxed because that's the character of the Thai people as well.
It's like a mix of traditional and modern at the same time.
I wouldn't
right?
say traditional, but it's a mix of craft, and we have a long heritage of very delicate things, and we are good with hands. So everything to do with craft, it's our expertise for a long time. So all our designs always integrated quality into our design.
It's true. Thai people are relaxed yet detail oriented.
Exactly, yeah. Relaxed yet detail oriented. I think that's a good summary,
Terms.
yeah.
And right now, as we can see that there are so many emerging developments in terms of Thai fashion industry, could you please give us some case examples where you find interesting?
I think what we do now, I think fashion calendars and fashion behavior, consumer behavior has changed since we have COVID and everything. I think it make people um, buy things differently, you know. So I think before everything in fashion has to be done or has to be designed a year or a year a half in advance. You know, in order to come out with the collection, we let the press see the collection 1 year before. We let the buyers see the collection 1 year before. By the time the collection come out, you might not want it anymore. You know, that's the old world. The new world is when you see it, you want to buy it now, which that is the calendar that Thai people has been doing for a long time. Yeah,
Yes.
we do it as we go along because we don't have seasons, we don't have winter. So we designed almost every 3 4 months, and then things come out every 3 4 months, and you know it's I think it's we adjust very well with the changing market, with the changing behavior. I think the whole world now turned to outside, you know, to be designed at that point and to come out with the product that serves the behavior at that point. So I think it's sort of like in our nature and in our calendar now, which is I think luckily we are the fourth runner of that calendar. Yeah.
Yes, it's so true because Thai people, we are creative. We like to think outside of the box. We can see so many things that like, wow, how can you come up with that idea kind of thing, right, in Thailand?
You know, as an outsider, as you point out before, you know, as the people who thinks outside the box and never be included in the fashion world, now I think that weakness become our strength because we are so outside the box. We can do everything. We can create things that is not normally people would create, and very fortunately, that is the thing the world want. That the consumer wants right now. So I think it's a time and place for our country, not only fashion, but in terms of fashion or design community.
It is so true. That's why the craft of Thai products or the design of Thai products are always exciting because you never know what to expect, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Can you share with us some standing work experience where you see revolution of fashion industry from the past to the present?
I think creative creativities is always part of Thai people for a long time. I think in the earlier session, we are already, Dr. Singh already mentioned that we are very fortunate to be a manufacturing country. We has been produced a lot of beautiful garment, a lot of beautiful things for people around the world without the brand, without the Thai brand. So you know the creativity is here, the production or the manufacturing also here, but we never merge them together. You know, we kind of merge, but we're not known for it. So I think with the disruption in fashion now, um, we have this kind of snowball effect. We have to have the synergy effect where we work with the producer from the fibers to produce the fabrics, to design, to sales, to market, to build the brand. I think we have the whole logistic of building the brand, but I think it's just very new to the world that for them to perceive us as to move from manufacturing country to a design country. That's a big challenge. Yeah,
It's true, but right now, as we can see, that there is the potential, yeah, and that's also the pathway that we can grow and
definitely. We have a big potential in terms of pushing out design with craft, with an international sense of fashion to the world. Yeah.
coming to talk about this. How do you see Thai fashion industry stand in the world industry of fashion?
I think I have mentioned it earlier. I think we are very new in the market. You know, like right now, when people think about our country, definitely the first word that come into their mind will be craft. So they were looking for something very craft, very traditional, very local. You know, but when a lot of tourists when they come to Thailand, or even the buyers when they contact
Yes.
us, they'll be surprised to see all this wonderful and very intricate design, which based on the craft. So I think right now we are very new in terms of the perception to the world. So I think it's as the designers, as the design communities, we are. I think we have to push very hard to people to come to Thailand and look for more elaborate design product rather than look at the just traditional craft.
It's really go with the like unseen Thailand, and unseen Thailand
Exactly,
doesn't
exactly,
only mean the travel attractions, but it can also mean craft, mean fashion, mean everything in all these small details that you
exactly.
can find in
I think
Thailand.
people are already get a sense of the spa or the skin product, the skin care. They start to realize that we are the hidden germs of hidden
It's
gems
true.
of designs already. So I think it's a next segments to move toward to is fashion.
Wow. How about right now, as we know the pandemic comes and everything in the world changed, how does, COVID affect fashion industry? What is the difference between pre and post COVID-19?
I think you can't deny the effect of the COVID. I don't think it's only to the fashion industry. I think it's to across the board to
Yes.
all industries. So I think what the job of the designer it's only reflect the society or what's going on in the society. So what COVID does is change the whole perception. They change the way of life. They change the way of how they think of themselves or how they're going to live their life in the future. So as the designer, you have to understand that people needs and desires and taste and everything has changed. So you have to adapt to that to the change. Not only that, but also the disruption of the retail, the disruption of the production, the disruption of everything that is going on has you have to adjust. You have to adapt. So it's from 0 to 10. You have to go back to your design, adapt your design to serve the new behavior. Then you have to adjust your channel of distribution. You have to adjust the message you talk to your consumers. So it's a lot of change, a lot of adaptabilities. Yeah.
It sounds like an adventure in a way.
I think I always love to look at life in a positive way. So I think it's very challenging. As a human being, you live with change. So one thing that you have to admit or you cannot be frustrated with is with the change. So when the change comes, you have to change yourself. Otherwise, you will be extinguished.
Yeah, and every time that is changed, there's also comes to opportunity. There's also
Exactly.
comes for room for
Exactly.
us to learn and improve. So can you share with us some specific example how Thailand fashion industry can turn this pandemic into opportunities for fashion?
We are very lucky that we are one of the very few countries that we have a great situation with COVID right now. So I think the mood and tone of the people are, I mean, not as bad as in other country. So there's still a lot of retail therapy going on, although people are still unsure of whether they want to go around, as usual or not. But everyone including fashion, has to change. Now, I think e-commerce is another big channel that you have to learn. You have to adjust the way of you're doing business and things like that. Even our fashion show now become digital. So we'll be doing the first time in Thailand. We'll do the fashion show that will broadcast into 6 different countries in Southeast Asia, and it's the first time in Southeast Asia that we have fashion week like that. So I think um, going forward, I think everything will be changed, including the way we do business, including the way we design. So no one will be grow without adaptabilities.
It is very true. As we can see that in the examples of other countries as well, that we now have to adapt, yeah, in order to grow, in order to move forward, and that is something that you have mentioned also. What can the buyers or people who are watching us right now benefit from partnering with us? Benefit from business matching with Thai creators, Thai fashion designers via THAIGROOVE?
I think it's when you venture to one country, it's very hard, it's like going to the big market. You don't know which segment to turn. But the Thai Groove, they already curated what you're looking for into one multi-brand shop. So it's like you walk into this shop that everything has been selected, pre-selected for you. So you will see the best of the best from Thailand, which going back to what I mentioned earlier that you'll be surprised that you will find things that has international sense of design with the local craft. I think everybody is looking for something niche, something original, something delicate, something with craft, and that's what we offer the best. So I think when you walk into Thai Groove, it's like you walk into this heaven of a curated, beautiful design um, objects from Thailand. So I think it's sort of like a shortcut to understand what we stand for in the Thai fashion, Thailand design community.
So it would help basically help them save time and also for them to see the best of the best that we have already selected for
Exactly,
them.
exactly.
Because if they just come to the new country, sometimes they might be confused like where to start.
Exactly.
Yeah,
When
but
you
with
venture
Thai
to
group,
the new city,
yes.
you always get lost. If you have time, it's great. You'll always find new things. But if you don't have time, when you have the route and the map and the road map, how where to turn or where to go, it's probably one of the best for the short amount of time to find the best of the best in the country.
Yeah, it sounds like this is the GPS to the best location.
Exactly. Mm.
Okay, can you share with us why Thai fashion can make a stand in the global market? And why is it that the world should explore Thai fashion?
Why the world should explore Thai fashion? Wow. I think it's in the fast-paced world. I think for the past 10 years, fast fashion is a big word. Everything is industrialized. Everybody has the same T-shirt. Everybody has the same pants. Everybody has the same everything. But as a human being, we want to be original. We want to live the lifestyle we want. We want to wear what is reflect who we are. So I think Thailand is a country that can offer something that reflect part of your soul. No one want to be a robot. No one want to look the same. So I think Thai fashion will offer you something different, something original, something authentic, which, other people are looking for that. The Western world are looking for something craft or something delicate. Very fortunately, it's our heritage. It's what we do for hundreds and hundreds of years, and that's always incorporated into our design. So that is what will make Thailand fashion stand out from other countries.
That is very inspiring. It's like when you want to get the new ideas, you need to explore. And Thailand is just the right place for you to explore in terms of fashion. Can you please invite the people who are watching us right now to explore THAIGROOVE.com with us? It is the Thailand first and the best virtual showroom with 100 plus brands and creators.
I think this is a great opportunity for everyone to venture out into Thai Groove because we have pre-selected everything for you from accessories, fashion, food, and everything. So for a short amount of time, you will see what we can offer and what's special about the country. So visit ThaiGroove.com.
Yes, and of course, let's groove with
Groove,
Thai
Thai Groove.
Groove. Thank you very much once again, Kun Muasawa, for sharing with us so many insights on fashion industry. And we can see also that fashion in Thailand is really one of a kind. It's very
Exactly.
authentic. It's very creative, very fun, and it's just charming. It's like the type of fashion that no matter how many times you see, you will never get bored of it. Yes, and I am sure that you all are inspired by his sharing his experience also. So thank you once again. And if you're interested in Thai products, don't forget to check out thaigroove.com. Let's groove with Thai Groove.